still waking up with heavy legs even after a full night's rest. You're not alone. Many of my older patients feel their legs are swollen, their ankles leave sock marks, or they're getting up to pee 4 or 5 times a night. They chalk it up to just getting older. But it's not always that simple. What if I told you a common snack, yes, one you might eat every day, is quietly weakening your legs and pushing your kidneys to work overtime? In this video, I'll walk you through 6 small natural changes, starting with what not to eat. These tips are safe, no pills involved, and can help you feel lighter and more stable within days. If you're ready to take that first step toward feeling stronger, type hope in the comments. If you find this helpful, hit subscribe to catch more simple health tips for your golden years. Let me explain something most folks never hear from their doctor. When you wake up and your legs feel heavy, when your ankles are swollen or your socks leave deep marks, that's not just getting older. That's your body trying to tell you something. And it's often linked to what you've been eating, especially those little snacks we think are harmless. See, when we eat foods that are high in salt chemicals or hidden sugars, our kidneys, those 2 bean-shaped organs in our back, have to work overtime. Their job is to filter out waste and keep the right balance of fluid in our body. But when they're overwhelmed, they start to slow down. And that's when water gets trapped in your legs, your ankles swell, and you start to feel tired even if you've done nothing all day. The scariest part, it sneaks up slowly. One morning your shoes feel a little tighter. A few days later, your legs don't want to move as quickly. And before you know it, you're holding onto furniture just to get across the room. I want you to do something right now. Look down at your ankles. Are they puffy? Do your feet feel heavier than they did last night? That's not something to ignore. That's your body waving a little flag asking for help. And the truth is, this isn't just about comfort, it's about independence. I've seen so many older patients start to lose their mobility just because they didn't realize their kidneys were struggling until it was too late. But the good news, you don't need pills. You don't need fancy machines. Most of the time, you just need to know which everyday foods are helping you and which ones are quietly hurting you. So now that we understand why these symptoms happen, let's take the next step together. Let's look at 6 surprisingly common foods, especially snacks, that could be slowing your legs and overworking your kidneys. You might be shocked at number 3, because almost everyone has it in their kitchen. Ready? Let's begin. Here's something that might surprise you. That little bag of chips you snack on while watching TV, it might be doing more harm than you think. I know it's salty, crunchy, satisfying, and it feels harmless, right? Just a few handfuls. But here's the truth, processed snacks like potato chips, cheese puffs, even salted crackers, they're loaded with sodium. And for your kidneys, that's like adding an extra weight they have to carry every single day. Think of your kidneys as a pair of hardworking housekeepers. Their job is to keep your body clean, flush out the waste, manage your fluids, keep everything in balance. But when you eat too much salt, they can't keep up. The body holds on to water, swelling starts in the ankles, your legs feel heavy, and suddenly you're walking slower, or avoiding walking altogether. Now you might say, but I don't even add that much salt to my meals, and that's fair. But here's the catch, most of the salt we eat doesn't come from the salt shaker. It comes hidden in those innocent-looking snacks we grab out of habit. And I get it, they're easy, they're cheap, they remind you of simpler times, but if you've noticed your socks leaving deep marks on your ankles or your legs feeling stiff when you get up in the morning, it's worth paying attention. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 71 lives in Amarillo, Texas, used to have a bag of pretzels by his recliner every evening. Didn't think much of it. But after a few months, he started waking up with puffy ankles and needing help getting out of his chair. His doctor warned him about fluid retention and kidney strain. Frank decided to make a small change. He swapped his nightly pretzels for a bowl of unsalted almonds and slices of apple. Just 2 weeks and the swelling in his ankles had gone down. He said I didn't know how heavy my legs felt until they started to feel light again. He didn't take any new medication, just made one smart swap. So here's my gentle challenge to you. Go to your pantry, pick up your favorite snack, and read the sodium label. Is it over 140 milligrams per serving? If so, that's not doing your legs or your kidneys any favors. Try switching to something simple and heart-friendly, a handful of unsalted nuts, a few baby carrots, even apple slices with peanut butter. And if you really miss the crunch, popcorn plain air popped is a great low-sodium alternative. Just skip the butter and flavored powders. Next time you're at the store, think about Frank. Think about your legs. You've got too many good years ahead to be slowed down by a snack. Now, if that surprised you, wait till you hear about the next food. It's even sneakier, and it's sitting in most people's fridges right now. Here's something most people don't expect to hear at Deli Meats. The kind we grab for a quick sandwich might be slowly hurting your legs and pushing your kidneys too hard. It doesn't sound dangerous, right? Turkey slices, ham roast beef. They're easy, fast, and feel like a good source of protein. But the truth is most processed meats are loaded with salt and chemicals that your kidneys have to work extra hard to filter out. Even worse, they're often packed with additives that don't show up on the label clearly. Things like phosphate preservatives, which may sound harmless, but make it even harder for your body to keep its balance. And what does that mean for your legs? When your kidneys are stressed, they hold on to fluids. That fluid often settles in the lower parts of your body, your ankles, your calves. That's why you might notice your shoes feeling tight by afternoon or your feet looking puffier than they did at breakfast. Now don't worry. I'm not here to tell you to never enjoy a sandwich again, but I do want you to be mindful of what kind of meat you're putting between those slices of bread. Instead of those salty, pre-packaged slices, try grilled chicken breasts you cook at home, or even an egg salad made with light mayo and a little mustard. I remember talking with Ruth, 68, from Asheville, North Carolina. She loved her ham and cheese on white bread every single day for lunch, but she kept waking up feeling swollen. Her knees stiff and her blood pressure was creeping up despite walking every morning. Her doctor mentioned cutting back on sodium, and she thought, but I don't use salt. We looked at her meals together and saw the truth. It wasn't the salt shaker, it was the ham. She made a small change, started roasting her own turkey breast once a week, sliced it thin, and kept it in the fridge for sandwiches. After 2 weeks, she called and said, I didn't even realize how heavy my legs felt until they didn't anymore. Her energy came back. She slept better. And she said she even looked forward to lunch again. So next time you are at the grocery store, take a look at the label on those deli meats. If the sodium is over 300 milligrams per serving, and trust me, most are, it's time to make a swap. And if roasting your own meat feels like too much, look for low-sodium rotisserie chicken or even hummus with sliced veggies. Little changes like that can make a big difference. Your legs will thank you, and so will your kidneys. Now, what's coming up next is even sneakier than deli meat. Most people have it in their fridge and think it's healthy until they look closer. Ready to hear what it is? Let's keep going. You might think you're doing yourself a favor by choosing diet soda over regular. But here's a little truth that surprised even some doctors I know. Diet drinks can quietly mess with your kidneys and your legs even without any sugar in them. I know it sounds odd, but it has no sugar, no calories. How could it be bad? That's the exact question Martha asked me last fall. She's 74 from Peoria, Illinois, and has been drinking 2 cans of diet soda a day for nearly 20 years. She switched from regular soda to diet to cut sugar after her blood sugar crept up in her 50s. But what she didn't realize is that those artificial sweeteners and chemicals in the can can still confuse your body. They interfere with how your kidneys filter, especially over time. They can also throw off your gut, leading to inflammation. And guess what? Inflammation makes it harder for your kidneys to do their job and causes your body to hang on to fluids. For Martha, that meant she started waking up feeling stiff with swollen fingers and ankles. Her legs ached by mid-afternoon, and she had to stop walking her little dog Penny because even a short walk left her exhausted. Now let me be clear, I'm not saying you can never have a diet soda again, but if it's a daily habit, that's worth paying attention to. Because even though it doesn't have sugar, it still makes your kidneys work harder in ways we don't see until symptoms show up like swelling fatigue and feeling off balance. What Martha did was simple. She replaced her afternoon diet soda with iced herbal tea. She used fresh lemon and a bit of honey. She told me it felt strange at first, like something was missing. But after just 1 week, she noticed she wasn't waking up with that same stiffness. 2 weeks in, she said her rings fit again. And Penny, she's back to getting her evening walks. If tea's not your thing, even plain water with cucumber, slices, or berries can be refreshing. And if you miss the fizz, there are sparkling waters out there now with no sweeteners at all, just a touch of fruit essence. So here's a small challenge for you. Try going soda-free for 5 days. Just 5. Swap in something natural. You might be surprised how your body feels. Lighter, clearer, a little more you. And if you're still with me, there's another healthy habit a lot of folks trust, but it's sneaking in more sugar and salt than we need. Let's talk about that one next. Here's a tricky one. Those soft little cookies or that warm slice of white bread you love with your morning coffee. It might be the quiet reason your legs feel heavier and your energy crashes by midday. I know. Cookies bring comfort. Toast feels easy and familiar. But what most folks don't realize is how quickly refined carbs like white bread, sweet rolls, and those light breakfast muffins turn into sugar in your body. And that sugar, it can quietly cause your kidneys and your circulation to struggle. When your blood sugar spikes, your body tries to fix it fast. It holds on to water. That extra fluid, it's what gives you puffy ankles, tight shoes, and that dragging feeling in your legs. You might even notice your socks leaving deeper marks than they used to. That's not just age. That's your body waving a red flag. Let me tell you about Harold. He's 76 from Bismarck, North Dakota, a retired bus driver who's always been on the move. After retiring, he kept his morning routine toast with jam, maybe a cookie or two after lunch. But slowly he noticed walking upstairs got tougher. His ankles swelled by the afternoon. He thought it was just age, until his doctor pointed to his blood sugar and asked about his diet. Harold made one change. He swapped white bread for whole grain. He started the day with oatmeal and berries instead of toast and jam. And those cookies. He found a new favorite, chilled grapes, sweet, natural, and better for his body. Within 2 weeks, he told me his legs didn't feel like sandbags anymore. His energy was up. He even went back to walking the long path around his neighborhood lake. So here's something simple you can try. Next time you reach for bread, check the label. If it says enriched flour as the first ingredient, skip it. Look for whole wheat or sprouted grain. Want something sweet? Try apple slices with cinnamon or freeze banana bites. They taste like dessert and they're kind to your kidneys. You don't have to give up your comfort foods completely. Just give your body a better version of them, something it doesn't have to fight so hard to process. And if baking is your thing, there are recipes for oatmeal cookies using mashed bananas. Oats and raisins, no sugar needed. They satisfy the craving and still treat your body right. Have you ever felt your energy crash after lunch? Or your shoes feel tight by dinner time? That's your clue. And now you've got something simple you can do about it. Coming up, let's talk about a dairy favorite that seems harmless, but might be one of the biggest salt traps in your fridge. Here's something you might not expect: that little container of cottage cheese sitting in your fridge. Yes, the one labeled low-fat or high-protein can actually be packing more salt than a small bag of potato chips. Sounds surprising, right? It feels healthy, it looks mild. But many brands of cottage cheese are loaded with sodium. And for folks like us, especially past 65, that extra salt can quietly lead to swelling kidney strain and that sluggish, heavy-legged feeling you just can't shake. Now, don't get me wrong, cottage cheese isn't all bad. It's got protein, it fills you up. But when you're eating it every day, maybe for lunch or a late-night snack, the salt starts adding up. And your kidneys. They're working double time to filter it out. I had this conversation just a few months ago with Gloria 73 from Henderson, Nevada. She'd been eating a bowl of cottage cheese with fruit for breakfast for years. Seemed like a smart choice, and she really liked how light it made her feel in the morning. But then she started noticing her ankles were puffier. Her hands felt stiff when she woke up. And her energy, it just wasn't the same. When we took a look at the label on her favorite brand, it shocked her over 400 milligrams of sodium per serving. And she wasn't eating just one serving, she was eating nearly double that. So Gloria made a gentle shift. She swapped her salty cottage cheese for plain Greek yogurt, added her favorite berries, and sprinkled a few chia seeds on top. Within 10 days, she told me her rings fit better. Her ankles weren't ballooning by dinner time. And best of all, she felt a little lighter inside and out. You don't have to give it up entirely, but here's a tip. Next time you're in the dairy aisle, pick up a tub and read the sodium content. Look for one with under 150 milligrams per serving. There are a few out there. And if plain yogurt feels too tart, try adding a drizzle of honey or a few frozen peach slices. They'll melt in and add just enough sweetness without overdoing it. And if yogurt isn't your thing, you can mash up avocado with lemon and spread it on whole grain toast. Or go with a boiled egg and some tomato slices, simple, satisfying, and gentle on your kidneys. Have you ever noticed your legs feeling tighter after a healthy snack like cottage cheese? You're not imagining it. That's your body quietly telling you it's overwhelmed. Try making this small swap for just 1 week. Watch how you feel. Sometimes it's not about cutting everything out. It's about choosing smarter, choosing food that loves you back. Now let's keep going, because the next one might just be hiding in your freezer and it looks healthy, but it's tricking your kidneys every time. Here's a little known fact that might surprise you. Even snacks labeled natural or organic can quietly overload your kidneys and leave your legs feeling heavy by the end of the day. Let's talk about those frozen meals tucked away in your freezers, things labeled low-fat, heart-healthy, or whole grain. They seem like convenient helpers, don't they? But many of them hide a lot of added salt and chemicals to preserve flavor. That's a problem because salt makes your body hold on to water. Over time, that can lead to puffy ankles, swollen feet, and that dragging feeling that makes each step feel harder. Imagine opening your freezer and grabbing a seemingly harmless veggie meal. You heat it up, it smells good, it tastes okay. But by evening, your legs feel full or your shoes tighter, and you're wondering if it's just part of getting older. It's not, it's a slow effect of salt-filled convenience. I heard a story from Evelyn 75 from Springfield, Illinois. She trusted those frozen meals, especially the ones with vegetables she loved. But after a few months, she noticed her ankles were puffier and she got winded climbing her porch steps. She told me she thought maybe I'm just slowing down. But her daughter saw something else. They checked the meal labels. One had nearly 700 milligrams of sodium, about half the daily limit, in just one serving. Evelyn decided on a small change. Instead of the frozen veggie meal, she made a simple side of steamed veggies and a baked potato. No salt added. She seasoned with herbs and a squeeze of lemon. Less than a week later, she said, I felt lighter. My feet didn't feel tight in my slippers. She even went for her little walk again. First time in weeks, she didn't feel sluggish. Here's what you can try. Next time you reach for that frozen meal, pause and read the label. If it lists over 400 milligrams of sodium per serving, set it aside. Steam fresh or even frozen plain vegetables, no sauce. If fresh is expensive or hard to find, cans with no salt added work too. Add flavor with pepper garlic powder, just a pinch, and herbs. Then add a lean protein you cook at home or beans if you're plant-based. If convenience is what you're after, batch cook some rice or veggies on your day off, freeze them in serving-sized containers, and reheat later. It's kind to your kidneys and your legs. Have you ever looked at the backs of those frozen meals and wondered what's inside? They might be silently working against you. Now, if that struck a chord, wait until I tell you about one last surprise. It's in your pantry and almost everyone has it. Ready to hear what's next? Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope the stories and simple changes we talked about have helped shine a little light on how everyday choices like snacks or frozen meals can quietly affect how you feel. And more importantly, how small natural shifts can help you feel stronger, lighter, and more in control of your health. If something in this video made you pause, made you smile, or even just gave you a new idea to try, drop it in the comments. Or simply type the word hope if you're ready to take one small step toward feeling better. I read every comment and it means the world to connect with you. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap the bell icon so you won't miss the next video, and please share this with a friend, a neighbor, or someone you care about. We're all in this together, wishing you light feet, a clear mind, and peaceful evenings. Keep taking gentle care of yourself. You deserve it. See you soon.